Well, good evening, my empowered entrepreneurs. It is so great to be here again and just believing that every single one of you had the most phenomenal Thanksgiving. There's so much to be thankful for. And here's another day coming to a close that we have to give thanks for. So tonight, I want to talk with you about a subject that affects everyone, but I want to apply it in the entrepreneurial sense, in the business sense, apply it to the business. It's fear. Fear. Everyone has a fear of some kind. There was a survey that was done, and this might shock you. There's a survey that was done by Wakefield Research, and here's the conclusion that one third of Americans are more afraid to start their business than they are to jump out of an airplane. Just imagine that. So, what is it that causes so much fear and consternation in the minds of an individual who wants to start their business? Of course, we do know that starting a business can be daunting, especially when you're transitioning from a job where you have everything laid out. You have a steady paycheck. So there may be other things that you do not like, and that's why you want to start your own business. But moving away from transitioning from that steady job into your own business can be a daunting experience. And that is why so many people are fearful, and many actually end up procrastinating, putting it off, and end up doing things that they didn't want to do most of all, take their dreams with them to their grave. Hey, this is Jim Foster, the business training coach and builder. And it's great to be here. I'm going to dive into this topic, and I'm going to cover five areas, five things that you can do if you are one of those persons who is fearful of jumping in and starting your business. You see, the key is to manage that fear. Because you see, once you do that, once you've done it, you will feel empowered and you'll be committed to your new dream. Now, how to use the fear as a fuel when starting a business, transforming it into a motivating and driving force. That is the essence of what I want to share with you. I was toying with an idea: fear to fuel, using your fear as your fuel. So, to accomplish this, and the first thing is to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. You've heard that said many times, haven't you? Get comfortable with being uncomfortable. What does that mean? Well, when you are too comfortable, you rarely make strides forward. You see, when you are comfortable, for example, in the corporate world, employees who are rewarded for drawing inside the lines, dwelling inside the lines, getting along with your co-workers and basically not rocking the boat. If you have been in that situation with that same company for a while, then you know that your position is solid. You feel very comfortable, and you're probably seen as an expert, and you can fulfill your job requirements. You can do your job with your eyes closed. Now, on the other hand, when you are your own boss, life can be unpredictable. To be successful, you will need to embrace discomfort. It is critical for you to realize that discomfort is a part of the journey. And so you'll have to deal with it. You cannot be an expert at everything. So identifying the areas of your focus and staying focused is one way of accomplishing that. Now, as an entrepreneur, uh, it is essential to find people who are smarter than you are and to form an alliance with them, to bring them in to supplement those areas where you are weak. And when you do that, then you have to prepare yourself to be comfortable with being uncomfortable, because there are risks involved. And when there's risk, of course, who's comfortable taking risks? But you focus on the payoff at the end, and then that is when it becomes a powerful alliance for you, using that fear to become the fuel. Sometimes going against the grain, but just trusting your instinct. And by doing that, then you can make a success of what it is that you are doing. Now, the second way to convert your fear into fuel for your business is in your thinking. You will have to make a mind shift set. And I've spoken about this many times. The mindset. That is one of the first things that has to be accomplished, adjusted. The mindset of an entrepreneur is different from the mindset of an employee. So you have to adopt that entrepreneurial mindset and and launch out. Step away from your comfort zone and get into where you are uncomfortable, and in order to accomplish the things that you want to accomplish for yourself. You see, fear always appears when you are about to embark on something great. So when that's a part of the shifting of the mindset. When people think of starting a business, the most natural fear, it is natural for them to have that fear. And by having that fear and on learning how to manage that fear, then you can create a transition and convert it into a way that it becomes fuel. So instead, for example, of thinking about uh, failure, that you might fail, because this is another way that another thing that holds people back, the fear of failure. So this is a part of the mindset matter. We live in a negative world. Most things are all negative, bad, gloomy, and doom. And so if you have to take control of yourself, of your mind. You have to think, make the switch and see the positive side of things. You have to embrace words, people, activities that are positive, that is going to empower you. So when you see failure, then you don't think of it. You understand that it is going to happen. You're not going to stop it, but you learn to learn from it. So you allow it, for example, to drive you hard so that you utilize your energy on well-defined goals, and you create that roadmap and focus on it, stick with it, and that way you can convert your energy and your fear into the fuel that is going to drive your business. A third uh, thing to do is to surround yourself with supporting cast. Now, this might be other entrepreneurs. It is going to be the people in business, people who have had success, and being people who are your peers as well, who are on your level when it comes to business. Uh, this means that you become part of a mastermind. Remember, last week I spoke about the mastermind. And while there are different levels and different types of mastermind, but you will want to connect yourself with a mastermind. A peer-to-peer mastermind is one of the best method for you starting out, because as a in a peer-to-peer mastermind, you have people who are experienced and you have people who are inexperienced, and you have the entire cross section of knowledge and experience that you can benefit from. But then in the other form of mastermind, you have someone who is experienced and knowledgeable and is actually devoted to teaching and helping you, like a coach or a mentor, business counselor. That's another kind of mastermind where you become a part of their mastermind. And it may be a group where they are teaching you in the group the essence of how to be more successful. So your peers, collaborating with others, and working in that sense in that group is one other way of actually helping you to convert your fear. You will find that there were other people that had similar fears, just such as you in starting, but they were able to overcome it. And not, a fourth element is being prepared and staying informed. Knowledge is expanding at such a rapid rate today that you have to learn, you have to become an ever learner. You have to constantly be engaged in expanding your mind, in learning new things. And by doing this, you are able to face the fear. It provides a panacea for the fear, and the energy that would go into your fear now goes into your business. So the knowledge helps you to anticipate challenges. As an example, it helps you to make more informed decisions, and as a result, it boosts your confidence. By applying these concepts, these principles, then you are providing the fuel that will transform your fear and gives you the drive to go forward. Now, another element is the matter of failure. How do you accept failure? Earlier I said that yes, you are going to fail sometimes. You are going to fail at some things. You're going to fail many times. But the first things you learn about failure is that it is a teaching tool. It is a method of learning. So you attempted something and it didn't work, you failed. Well, hey, you do an analysis to see what went wrong. What could you have done different? What was it that caused the failure? What was it that caused that particular area not to work? Where is the breakdown? And how can you get around it? You see, if you take every single failure that you have and you apply those five honest serving main question: who, what, when, where, why, to that situation, and find answers. What is responsible? When did it happen? What could you have done better? Why? And so on. When you apply that to the situation, then you are able to get answers. And when you have answers, then you can create solutions. And the solution is what is going to drive you to build an even more successful and a more profitable business. Embracing failure is also an opportunity to learn. While you are exploring it to find answers, you're also learning. So you know that next time you avoid those situations that creates that kind of result of failure. Um, Fear can be a powerful motivator when starting your business if we learn to harness that energy. Embracing the fear and transforming it into fuel, we can overcome the obstacles, make better decisions, and ultimately achieve success. Beginning with the mindset, adopting always a positive mindset and working forward. Remember that using these techniques, it makes it possible for you to turn your fear from your enemy into your greatest ally. You don't want to have fear lingering over your head. So you convert it into an ally so it works for you. And of course, the secret to this is to actually feed your dream. Feed your dream, focus on your dream, and let your one of my mentors, W. Clement Stone, um, founder of Combined Insurance Company, one of the theories, ideas that he proponed, um, uh, feed your feed the positive and let the negatives die of neglect. Let your fears die of neglect by not focusing on it, by not thinking about it, but putting that energy into the areas that you want, the areas that is going to lead you to the results that you want. Remember Henry Ford. He was in his time. He was a laughing stock because can you imagine trying to invent the engine, and every time he tried it, it didn't work. They'd laugh at him. Oh, you still messing with that stuff, you know, calling him names and crazy and stuff like that. But he knew what he was about, and that's why he never gave up. It had to take him 10,000 tries. But eventually, if he didn't persist and persevere, we probably would still be riding around with horse and buggy today. So, my friend, whatever it is that you want to do as a business that is in alignment with who you are, that where you have that superpower locked up inside of you that will provide the solution to what people are waiting for, get it out. Get it out. Go do it. Don't allow yourself to be stopped by fear. Now, to help you to accomplish this, one of the important things is always learning, as I mentioned. And when you know exactly what to do, then it becomes easy. So, what I have done is to prepare a course that will go through the four elements I call the four pillars of business that you must know about, that you must do. We talked a few weeks ago, I talked about 5 mistakes that you must avoid to get started in your business. So, what I've done is put together this course, how to fund, start, and grow your business. And I'm offering it as a 6 week program, a 6 week course, 2 hours each week. We'll sit down and you will have me going over all these elements with you. In the boot camp, we're going to be covering areas such as how to identify your why. That is one of the first things that you want to do before you get started in business. How to discover your expert identity. These are things that when you know these things, then it becomes easy for you. We're going into matters of identifying your product, all the areas about creating and developing your product, the things that you need to consider. For example, where in your market does your product or service fit? Where's the niche? What niche are you going to fill? How do you evaluate and find the gaps in the market so that you're not running over your competition or they're not running over you, but you have a unique space that you eventually control. We'll be looking at the people, your team, your audience. Who is your target audience? Who are you serving? And how do you get to serve them so that your product gets in their hand when they see your product? they will all, the right person will say, yes, that's what I want. I've got to have it. And these are just some of the areas. But then the other areas that is critical in business, they are your processes, for example. How do you set up the process for your service or your product from the initial stages of development, the creation, putting it all together to a finished product, and then getting it out to market, fulfillment. How do you keep score? How do you know what is happening? What type of tools do you need for that? We do a deep dive into all of these areas. Then once you have all of that figured out, the last piece is your promotion. What are how do you utilize the available methods of promotion to get your product or service out in the hands of people so that they will come and they will take it away from you? Okay, so there's more information about this course that is in my business launch group, the home-based business forum. And if you go to the home-based business forum on Facebook, then you will see the complete outline, the schedule for it there. You'll see how to register and get started. And by the way, um, in the launching of this, I'm launching with only 5 people. I'll be working with 5 people, just 5. So if you want to be one of those 5 that work with me on this inaugural launch course, then go to the group and get yourself registered so we can get started. Okay? So if you have any questions, then go ahead and hit me up. You can always reach me, Coach Jim, on Instagram. I'm all of the networks. And go ahead and subscribe my YouTube channel, Coach Jim Foster. Subscribe to my channel and join the group. And when you join the group, you get to interact and connect with peers. You get to have connections. Uh, as we'd say, from top to bottom. So we have everyone, and you have all the opportunities there to meet, greet, and grow. Hey, this is Jim, Coach Jim Foster. Pleasure sharing with you, and I look forward to connecting with you again. Go to the group and check out the course. Have an awesome evening and stay warm.